Welcome to this webinar, which is regarding your personal budget. This is presented by myself, Stuart Newbury, Principal at Positive Practice Accountants. I do apologise if it comes over a bit stilted. We're still getting used to doing seminars and webinars, but the idea is to provide you with useful information to enable you to make the most of your money and your business. With that, I will start the webinar properly by sharing my screen. So hopefully you can see the screen in front of you. This is just, as I said, the title page, and my name is Stuart Newbury. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the Zoom platform, there is at the bottom a bar where you can adjust your audio settings. You can take part in live chat. You can also raise your hand if you make any points, but also, more importantly, there's a Q&A box where you can enter your questions for me to answer, hopefully towards the end of the meeting. And of course, if at any point you need to leave the meeting, you can do so by just clicking on the Leave Meeting button. So, my name is Stuart Newbury. I'm the Chief Accountant and Proprietor at Positive Practice Accountants, and we have a two-office practice with offices in Skipton and Colne in Lancashire. We service small business clients and individuals, and we pride ourselves in our mission being to help our clients run more profitable businesses, thereby enriching their lives. So today's personal budget topic is key to that. Before we get in, I just want to throw the usual disclaimer that the webinar is for educational purposes and in general purpose and nature, and no substitute for tailored personal advice specific to your personal circumstances. Having said that, have a think about our thoughts for today. It's critical that children start to learn the value of money, short-term and long-term, saving and budgeting at an early age. Some of us were never taught these things as kids, but it's not too late to learn, and that's why we're here today. The recent pandemic has certainly highlighted some gaps in business communities' financial awareness. The best place to start in terms of growing these skills is with ourselves and therefore our children. I think we can all agree that. Sometimes as accountants, we tend to focus on the business budgets, forecasts, and not so much on the personal budgeting and financial management. But we get lots of questions from clients about their personal spendings along the lines, do I really spend that much, or did I really spend that much last year? Good financial awareness skills is part of having a personal budget. And for many of our clients, their business is key to their personal finances. It's not just the people who get a wage, it's the people who earn the money from their business that pays for all their lifestyle. Today's agenda: understanding what a personal budget is, the obvious and unexpected benefits of a personal budget, components of personal budgeting, how to complete your personal budget, creating an accountability framework, next steps, available support, and finally a Q&A section. What is a personal budget? Personal budget is a financial plan that allocates future personal income towards expenses, savings and debt repayment. It's not just businesses that need a plan, we all do. The benefits of personal budgeting: it gives you control, keeps you focused on your money goals, it creates awareness of where your money goes. builds better money habits, helps manage debt levels, helps you helps you achieve your wealth goals, acts as an early warning system, becomes a communication tool, provides you with more money if you stick to it, and ultimately will give you a better life. Why people avoid personal budgeting? It's extra work to set up and monitor. We hear the word budget and we think bread and water. None of us like surviving on just bread and water. They don't know how to prepare one. Fear of putting the subject of money on the table, having that conversation. Fear of what they may find. And pride. I don't need one. Finally, to be honest, there is potentially some element of laziness. It is hard work, as we said at the beginning of that slide. But that hard work pays off once it's set up, and once you're up and running, all that hard work provides benefits. So the components of a personal budget, and hopefully the components of your personal budget. Budget setup is quite easy. You enter your income. You enter those expenses in categories such as housing, insurance, transport, food, children, medical, lifestyle, debt repayment. Once you've entered all of those figures, that gives you the ability to then monitor those every month to see if you're on track. Also, of course, it may help you change behaviour. If you notice that you're spending an awful lot of money on takeout meals, and that's affecting how much you can actually afford to spend on the kids, you may change your behaviour. You can reset your budget where needed. So if you have an emergency and you have to enter some more finance payments, we can change the plan to adopt that, and also make use of the information to see what you can afford. Complete the personal budget. We've actually got a free personal budget template that I can send out to anybody who requests it. All you need to do is email me at snewbury, and that's snewbury at p-practice.com. Email me and request your copy of our personal budget template, and it is a very simple spreadsheet to put together. This is our personal budget template looks, and we'll provide it, as I said, one for you each day. Select the year that we're working to. This is one we prepared earlier. So if you're going to start today, your year end will be 31st of May 2023. This will automatically update the template to begin on the 1st of June, a few days ago from today's meeting. You can then enter your name and details. This is your copy. Potentially there's only going to be you, and if you want to share it with me or your other accountant, go to see this information. So personalize it. Next step is to enter your monthly income. The fastest way to do this is select the payment frequency. So payment frequency will be either weekly or monthly. Once you've done that, you can then select how often you get paid. Next, you'll enter your planned expenses. So if you know you've got a mortgage payment every month, and you know what that is for the next so many months, you enter that. Similarly, if you've got rent payments, rate payments, all of these recurring monthly payments are predictable. You know in advance what they're going to be. Put them in for the whole year, saves time. Do it once, saves time. Then all you need to worry about are those expenses that are non-recurring. So estimate how much you usually spend in the supermarket. Estimate how much you would normally spend on children's clothing or just on children's entertainment. If you know that you've got a party coming up for one of the children, you may want to put something aside for that. The idea is to actually spread out the costs of your expenses over the year so that you get an idea of when the cash is there. That will, of course, give you a cash summary, and that summary quite easily will show you're above the line. You may dip below the line a couple of times, but if you know you're above the line before that dip, you've got some extra cash to spend. And this is the idea. It gives you the ability to plan. So if you can recognize that your income is not sufficient in one particular month, you might need to spend a little bit more a little bit less in the months prior to that. Of course, things change. This is not written on a tablet of stone, so you can flex these numbers. So if you recognize, as we said, you may have a shortfall, you may not have enough income for that month, but you can say, well, if we spend a little bit less on the supermarket for the last 3 weeks or the next 3 weeks, that will put us a little bit ahead of the plan. We also give you a breakdown so you can see, sorry about that. We also give you a breakdown of where your money is coming from, because there might be, you may have dividends, you may have bonuses from work, it may be interest that you get paid. And if you're running your own business, it's the drawings that you take from your business. And if it's family income, there may be 2 sources or more of income. Record all those down, and that way you know what the income is. Expenses gives you an idea of where your expenses are being spent. So your annual expenses, in this example, you can see 23% is being spent on household. Now that could be the actual rent and all the rest, but 24% is actually spent on food. Are you shopping at the most expensive supermarkets? In today's world, we all have to worry about our shopping and the cost of living rises that we're all seeing, fuel rises. This just gives us an ability to monitor that. And of course, at the end, there's a cash surplus or deficit. You read on this side if it was deficit. This is cash surplus of £9,145. That enables us to say, oh, we potentially got that much we could save or have as a backup if we need to. Creating your accountability framework. As I said before, you don't want to set your plan once and forget it. That's just the first step. You need to track your spending regularly and update your plan. If you initially find that you're spending £75 in the supermarket every week, but because inflation and all of the price pressures are all under, it suddenly goes to £85, you need to reflect that in the plan, because it's unlikely it's going to go down fairly quickly. So reflect that increase, and that gives you the ability to predict what's coming forward a little bit better, any shortfalls, etc. Review and reset monthly as an absolute minimum. If you need to get independent accountability, it could be that you want us to talk to you on a monthly or quarterly basis, just to make sure that you're on plan and you know that you're actually achieving. The accountability is important. You could hold yourselves accountable, but it needs to be accountability done with purpose. And accountability just means someone to answer to, if not in a bad way, in a positive way, so that you know that if you've got a question that person can help, but also you know that if you make a decision, you've got to really be able to justify it. So it might be that you use yourself as accountability, and in that case, as long as you can justify your decision, if you put it in the plan, does that extra £20 a week on that extra Sky or Netflix package, does that put you in the red at the end of the year? If it doesn't, is that £20 worth the money that you spent on? If it does, what else are you going to sacrifice? Because you've got to find that £20 from somewhere. So that's all that accountability is. It's having someone, even if it's only yourself, that you justify decisions for. The plan is there to help you make those decisions, because you can then see the consequences of those decisions that you want to make. Bringing fun and lighten the process. It might be that you set targets and you give yourself a little reward if you manage to achieve the target. I would guarantee, I would hope that you set targets of being better, not being further in the red. But of course, if you suddenly manage to find that you can save a little bit more, put a bit more aside for that wonderful holiday later on in the year, guess what? You've got an incentive. And every time you make that little saving each month, think of the holiday. Think of what that little bit of saving is going to provide for you and your family as part of the holiday. So don't beat yourself up. Keep it light. Keep it fun, but also make sure that you understand that you're doing it for you and your family's benefit. For the next steps are, you need to focus on the benefits of your personal spending. It can seem confrontational, that, and also that accountability can seem a bit, who do I have to? You may get, you get worried, but discuss it with your spouse, your partner, or even your accountant. We won't judge. What we can do is look at what the plan says, and we can ask those sensible questions. It's not a judgment, it's focusing on your personal budget to help you achieve what you want to do. You've got to remember, this is personal, it's yours alone. I'm just providing a tool to help you to establish it. I can't decide whether it's more right that you spend £20 at the supermarket or £20 on Netflix. That's your decision. You just have to justify it to yourself in light of all of your personal goals for the year. Setting a personal annual budget enables you to better control and focus. And you also don't have to worry about, will we have enough at the end of the year? Will we be able to afford that holiday? Because you'll have planned. And if you ever talk to me outside of these webinars, you will know that one of the things that I always say to people is, what gets measured gets managed. This is a way of you measuring your budget. Once you start measuring your budget, I will guarantee you will manage it far, far better. It also enables you to focus on those things that you can control. You may not be able to control your income as well as you hope, but you can control your spending, or a large part of that. This enables you to see what you can control and how that control can affect the year. If you need support, we're here at Positive Practice. Your partner's there. Your accountant, even if you don't use us, your accountant will be there to help you. It is important that you get help when you need it, ideally before it's too late, so that that help can actually help you, not just confirm the bad news. Again, planning a year ahead, you should see if any roadblocks come up, if there's anything that's going to trip you up. Yes, things happen, and yes, sometimes we can't predict those. But again, what this says is focus on what you can control. None of us could predict COVID pandemic. None of us could work out that we're going to have furloughing, we were going to have to social distancing. But once those were in place, you could control elements of that. You knew you could work out who you were going to meet, your bubble. You could control that. And if you knew someone had already just had COVID, you'd stopped away from them. You could control that. So these are the important things. How we can help. I mean, the actual personal budget template is completely free. If you want a complimentary business meeting to discuss how your business provides enough income for you and your family, that's completely free. If you want me to go through with you your personal budget, you don't need me to do that. If you can use a spreadsheet and you can follow a simple template that we provide you, you can do it yourself. But if you do need me to give you a hand, we just charge our normal rate for a full consultation meeting. If you want me to provide some initial coaching to go along with that, to help you look at where you could possibly save more money, where you could actually make more money, and how we can make your budget actually deliver what you need or want it to achieve for the year, those prices are on the screen. But as I said, if it's a meeting that you want to talk about how we can help your business, completely free. Budget template, all you need to do is email me. You can have it by return, completely free. You can do all of this yourself. Sometimes it's easier if you've got a person who's slightly detached, who can ask you the question, why do you spend this money? Or what could you do differently? That's what we're here for. But we won't charge you a penny for an initial phone call to discuss your issues, your problem. If you want to pursue anything after that, we will work out exactly what it is. Our guarantees, we never produce an unexpected bill. So if we're going to do some work for you, well, I've told you up front how much it costs. There are no surprises. I hope that most of our clients see our fees not as a cost, but as an investment in their own business and their business skills, because we hope to save you or make you far more than we ever charge you. Again, if we can save your budget some money, we will do. Okay. So I'm looking at the question box and I can't see any questions being asked. But again, an open offer. If you've got any questions as a result of watching this webinar and you want to drop me an email, please do so. Otherwise, we can provide you with the template. Again, just email me. We're here to help. And parting thought, a budget is telling you where to go instead of, a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Thank you for your time. Again, my name is Stu Newbury, Positive Practice Accountants. Goodbye.